my point is that what happened in LA at the beginning of the summer, cuando el pueblo de Los Angeles, led in its majority by Mexicanos, Chicanos, Chicanas, we have to say thank you to standing up for democracy. What they were standing up was saying, you cannot come into our communities and terrorize us with masks in the middle of the night without due process. Actually, they were protesting to save due process and our democracy. So thank you to los jovencitos y las mayorcitas, because there were people of every age group out there, which is crazy because taking to the streets to protest should never be a question of riesgo. There should never be a risk if we are taking to the streets to protest because we live in a democracy.
Bad mood and your life is taken. You know, the way things are right now, it doesn't even feel safe to go to a protest. Like, we live here in New York, and it's just like you see footage sometimes, and I'm like, how did things get so out of control? Like,
but remember that most of the time, so we know this as journalists, like if we're at a protest, we're actually not going to post the stuff that's kind of just normal. When something, algo se escala y se prende, that's actually what you're going to talk about.
Immediately.
So I just want to say, overwhelmingly, the protests are overwhelmingly peaceful. Like, for example, there were protests yesterday in Israel. Hundreds of thousands of people in Israel came out asking for a ceasefire and for a hostage negotiation and for... They were overwhelmingly peaceful, those demonstrations. So let's remember that yeah, you're going to see this stuff where it gets tough, and there are always instigators at protests on either side, to be honest. I hate to say that, on both sides. Pero I was a hothead at one point too when I was a kid. And again, we don't want to be the ones who end up being the instigators, but it is true that on the other side, they are now coming at protesters, nonviolent protesters, with the military, with federal agents, with National Guard, with arms. So it is truly being instigated from one side.
Let's talk fitness, because we had, we had a whole pre-meeting to this interview, and something that kept coming up is, have you seen her body?
Actually, I was having my dad, my best friend, my cousin were all dying within a period of 6 months. I was having financial issues because we had 2 kids in college. Herman and I were having issues in our marriage.
With all those things happening, of course your marriage is going to be affected.